we're going to be in Numbers, specifically Numbers chapter 33. And I want to talk about camping. I don't know about you. I kind of feel almost campy today with what I'm wearing, my hat from my mom. Thanks, Mom. Right. But I don't know if you ever camped. My family and I were from the Northwest, grew up in Oregon, been camping in Idaho as well, up with the moose and the bear and riding four wheels all over the place. Man, I miss those days. I miss camping. We have a massive Eddie Bauer tent that is like 5-room tent, beautiful tent. Used to love the camp. Camping was one of my favorite things to do, and go dig our own holes. And you guys kind of, those who camp know what I mean when I say I'm digging my own hole. But in Numbers, what's interesting to me is this moment as we read Numbers chapter 33, as we read it, Moses is recounting for the children of Israel their stops, their places that they've gone. And I was reading through it today and I thought, how many places is that? Far too often, and I almost wish I would have drawn this, like if you could follow my circle, we think of the children of Israel for 40 years wandering in the desert, and they're just marching around in a circle. It's not that big of an area, not that large of a territory when we think about it. But understand, in Numbers chapter 33, Moses jots down every campsite that they've ever had. I have this app called All Trails, right? And it allows me to know the trails, the hiking trails in any area I go to. And you can map out your own, or you can find out experts. And it's almost like Moses has done that. Hey, these are our camping spots. These are our places. But I began to count. And from the very beginning of where they started, so after they left Egypt, right, all the way to the very end, that the last kind of place that they set up before they go in the promised land, you'll never guess what that number is. Well, maybe you will. If you know your Bible at all, you'll probably figure out it's 40. That's right, 40 campsites, not including the first one where they started, not including the last one where they ended, right? Starting in Egypt and ending as they're getting ready to go in. Recognizing that, what an incredible number that is. 40 is the number for testing. When we see the number 40, Jesus is in the desert for 40 days. He's going to pray and to fast for 40 days. We know the children of Israel, they're in the desert wandering for 40 years because the spies went in for 40 days, right? 40 is out there all the time, and to recognize that testing. But what this speaks of being more than testing is the intentionality of God. Listen to that. Let me say it again. The intentionality of God. What God does is always intentional. He's not haphazard. He doesn't just throw things together. He is very intentional. In fact, his word says this, that he formed you, that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, that he handcrafted you, he knitted you together in your mother's womb, because he has work for you to do. He has good works for you to do. To recognize that you are on this earth right now because of an intentionality. Listen to me. Some of you may be questioning what your purpose is, why you're on earth. You were a mistake. Even your parents tell you, you were a mistake. Maybe you're adopted. You were a mistake. You just happened. Recognize that's not the case. God intentionally made you because he had good works for you to do. Understand, we worship an intentional God that creates people for a reason, for a purpose. And as long as you are on this earth, recognize that God has a plan for you. He has a purpose for you. God is intentional in having you, in creating you,